Hi, Joe from RDI here with another tips and tricks. Today we're going to talk to you about our structural porch posts, more specifically about the two mounting base options we have and the installation differences. Our porch posts are 108 inches long and they come with this aluminum extrusion that make them a load-bearing post up to 5,000 pounds depending on the size. There's two different mounting plate options, a standard and a wind uplift. I'm going to use this frame here as a floor and a simulation of a roof to show you the difference between them. The standard option is made to match right up with the aluminum extrusion and fit on the top and the bottom of the post. If you can imagine, this was the entire roof and all the load is pushing down this way. You'd have a temporary support in place as you're doing this work, but you would just have your post cut to the right height, check for a plumb, put your marks on where this needs to be. But you can see I have the post cocked here where I can see all four screw holes. So I'm going to push this into place to where I want it. Let's just say it's right there. I'm going to insert my screws, and then I can just turn the post. Once you get a couple screws in, top and bottom, you can then just spin this post. I need your hands to spin it back to square. At that point, you would take your temporary support down. The weight of the roof would hold this in place. But you can imagine if the weight of the roof wasn't there, or if you're in a high wind area, and this does blow away, there's nothing positively holding this porch to the deck surface, so it could lift up. This is the wind uplift mounting base. For this, there's a hole that gets drilled in the aluminum that matches up to a hole on the base plate. There's a nut and bolt that attach it on one side. Now that I have my one side attached, we need to do the other side. But here, you can see how my nut and bolt won't work because I don't want to drill a hole in my finished sleeve that I'm going to see when I'm done. So we still use that hole, but a different part. We still put our top base on, but now we use this spring-loaded lock where I can actually cock it into these grooves. And I have this little place to hold it. So if I've lined everything up correctly, I could drop it right in there and set it in place. I'm going to try and show you this close up. Here with the springs all compressed, this fits in the hole. Decided this might be easier to show without the post. Here's the spring and latch. It would go here through the aluminum insert, and then these tabs would get released to have it go through the post insert and the base. So with my bolt on one end and my spring on the other, I've created a positive connection between the floor and the roof. Once I mount this down. Same as the other basic mount, you would just slide this into place. Now this mounting base has an outside footprint where you'd screw it to your deck and roof surface after it's in place, and you could cover that with one of our 4-piece base trims. We have two base plates that work, a standard one and the wind uplift for high wind areas. Make sure you choose the one that's right for your job. Hopefully this will help you select the right parts and pieces for your job. The last thing we want is to cut into that libation time. For more tips and tricks, visit us at rdirail.com.